Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Game Week 18 deadline stream. Got 2 hours to go. I've still got no clue what I'm doing. I only had Christmas dinner today. I'm absolutely stuffed. I can barely breathe. I don't know if I'm going to get through this stream, but we'll see what happens. I've eaten way too much food today. I don't even feel like I ate that much food, but it's coming back to haunt me now. Yeah, I've not made any transfers. I don't know what I'm going to do. I really have no idea what I'm going to do. I mean, I've got a rough idea. It's going to be it's going to be Fernandez to one of Paquetá, Wirtz, or Schade. And then it's going to be Roll, or Senesi to Keane, or Senesi to Tarkowski, or Nkapie to Timber, or Nkapie to Tarkowski, or Nkapie to Keane, or Nkapie hold, get Lewis Hall or Chow next week. Something like that. And the only thing that's going to make me decide is the deadline, because I think I could sit here for another 10, 12 hours and still come no closer to having a clue what I'm doing. So let's see what happens in a couple of hours. Is Nkapie starting? No idea. Absolutely no idea. I hope he does, but no idea. He wasn't in training photos, but then that doesn't really matter for Arsenal. Arteta didn't speak about him on Tuesday, so we've got no new information. Just do not know. Do I have Brussels sprouts? No, not a fan. I have parsnips and carrots. I'm on free hit, Gordon or Bowen. Bowen, I guess, probably. Although Gordon will definitely start, and he's on penalties. Thoughts on Lewis Miley? I mean, if you're desperate for someone super cheap, but I can't see him being a very good long-term option. Thoughts on Harry Wilson, yellow flag? Yeah, he's a doubt because that's what Marco Silva said. I'd probably keep hold of him unless you got some money to upgrade. The thing is, even if you've got money to upgrade, who'd you go to? Did you have Christmas pudding? I honestly couldn't eat it. I literally had porridge this morning. I've nicked a few chocolates along the way, but not many. Porridge this morning, Christmas dinner at 2 o'clock. I cannot eat anything else. I might have Christmas pudding for dinner. Start Richards just in case he's fit and first bench Chow, or just bench Richards and start Chow. Just start Richards probably. I have this problem in 0 free transfers in Nkapie, Wilson, Bruno, Munoz, Guiu. What would you do? Take some hits probably. I mean, Wilson, I'd probably just hope that Wilson and Nkapie play. I'd just deal with Bruno and Munoz. They're your biggest issues, right? Rice or Rodgers in for Bruno? Probably Rice. Bench one, Thiago, Rice, Harry Wilson, Bruno Guimaraes. Harry Wilson, I guess, because he's a doubt. Yeah, Havertz is in training. Playing 4-4-2, have a defender of... Oh, defense, sorry, of O'Reilly, Anderson, Van Dijk, Senesi, and Tim, but I have Bowen striker. Which four should I start? You should probably just bench Senesi. I think that's fairly straightforward. I think. Risk Wilson and start him, or bench him and start Minte. Probably just risk Wilson, I think, in that case. Would you start Enzo or Senesi over Rodgers? Probably Enzo. Free hit team with no Haaland. I mean, I did a free hit team in the Final Thoughts video. If you want to go and check that out, just swap Haaland to someone else, I guess. Why isn't Ekitike your transfer plan? Basically, for me to get... Okay... how do I explain this simply? I mean, it's pretty simple. I could do something like Bruno Fernandes to Potts and then Guiu to Ekitike. So I could just do that and play 4-3-3. Right? But Dewsbury Hall, I'd have no money to upgrade him, and I've still got an Nkapie problem. So I don't like the Fernandes to Ekitike one move. It just feels way too short term. The other option is to sell Fernandes and Saka. The only problem with that is I don't think selling Saka to get Ekitike is worth it. I really don't. So, like, there's still part of me that thinks Saka's got to go at some point because I could do with some money. But I don't want to force like 3 or 4 transfers. Just, like, we're talking about a £9 million forward with no penalties. It's like he's not going to score 2 goals every week, and as soon as that stops, he's not going to feel as good value. And I know when I say that, people all people hear is you think he's bad, you think he's bad. Not at all. I think he's a pretty good pick, and for some people, it makes loads of sense to buy him. I just don't think it makes sense for me to buy him. Would you replace Nkapie for a -4 if you're on free hit? Huh? If you're on free hit, why do you need to take a -4? That doesn't make any sense. Unless I'm missing something. I have had 1 beer today, so I might be missing some stuff. Who have I favoured as the replacements for Bruno? For me, it's going to be Wirtz, Sharda, or Paquetá. Oh my god. On free hit, double Everton defence worthy. I'd even be tempted by triple, so yeah, why not double? Start Chow or Minte. Probably Minte probably in isolation, but if you've got double Arsenal defence, I'd probably just start Chow. Water or Coke today? I've actually got beer for once. I've got beer and water. It's the first beer I've had since Tuesday, so I'm doing all right. I didn't have any yesterday. You know you're getting Sharda. I mean, I wish I knew. Genuinely, I wish I had a clue what I'm going to end up on. Like, I could just go for Sharda. Okay, so what I quite like about Sharda is I do Fernandes to Sharda, play 4-4-2, risk Nkapie, and then next week I do Nkapie to Hall and Dewsbury Hall to Szoboszlai. Here's a question for you, right? Let's say from next week, it doesn't have to be this week. Who's the best 6.6 million midfielder or under? Is there anyone better than Szoboszlai on penalties, nailed for 90 minutes most weeks? Is there anyone better than him? Don't say Rodgers. Please do not say... Oh, he's actually more expensive anyway. 6.6 or below. Who am I missing? Minte, yeah. I did think about him. Jerky, I'm not going near. Minutes will just become an issue. I just... Yeah. Grealish. I mean, fixture-wise, yeah. Bowen, yeah, doesn't count. He's a forward and he's not 6.6 or below. 3 free transfers, Semenyo to Wirtz and Wilson to Mount. Do or no? I probably wouldn't do Wilson to Mount. Semenyo to Wirtz is okay, but Semenyo's also fine this week. So both moves are all right, but they're not like must do or anything like that. 2 free transfers. Would you do Semenyo and James or Timber to Wirtz and Keane? Don't have Ekitike. I would I definitely wouldn't sell. What are you selling Timber for? Yeah, Semenyo and James to Wirtz and Keane sounds fine. Yeah, 100%. I've only got Raya and Rice from Arsenal. Is Minte more likely to get a goal and assist, or is Newcastle more likely to clean? I'd say they're probably both quite low odds, to be honest. I'd probably just play Minte. Who else besides Smith Rowe makes sense for a budget midfielder on free hit? Enzo Lefebvre, maybe? Cherky will be nailed. Do you see how do you know what? He's a Man City player, so he probably is absolutely nailed. You're right. For me, the only dilemma is who to bring in, Van Dijk or Tarkowski. I'd probably go Van Dijk. Like, the next 3 fixtures are fine to play him, and he's not 1 yellow card away from suspension. Like, you could argue Tarkowski's a slightly better longer-term hold, but I don't think there's that much in it. Start Minte, Anderson, or Richards. Who's Anderson got? Forest have got. Who have Forest got? I cannot see. Oh yeah, Forest City. Minte, I guess. Top 5 free hit must-haves. Wirtz, Ekitike, Van Dijk, or Frimpong. Everton have better fixtures and Van Dijk can't keep a clean sheet. I mean, I would definitely debate the better fixtures. Yeah, I mean, it's Burnley, but it's away. Like, Liverpool have got Forest. Then it's a home game to Leeds. I mean, can Liverpool ever keep a clean sheet again? I reckon they might keep one before the end of the season. Given Wilson's a doubt, would you start him or Joachim Anderson? Yeah, I don't know what the chances are of Harry Wilson just cameoing. Like, could it just be a start or a benching? I guess you just play it safe and play Anderson. No free transfers, have Wilson. Bruno issues, have Anderson. How is everyone down to no transfers and 2 issues? We got 5 transfers like 2 weeks ago. Have Wilson, Bruno issues, have Anderson, Potts, Roden on the bench. Is Bruno to Cunha for a -4 worth it? I'd probably just do it in that case. Cunha or Verts for free hit. Probably Verts just because it's Wolves, but honestly, that's probably closer than most people will give it credit for because Cunha's probably on penalties. Is Verts the most likely you get since he's must-have? I mean, he's not must-have. What to do with Nkapie and Senesi? I'm lost. I mean, Nkapie's sellable if you've got a spare transfer, I guess. But I think the thing is, he picked up the injury against Everton apparently, but he played the full game. So how bad was it? Senesi's pretty sellable as well. I mean, you can absolutely play him this week. He's got Spurs at home soon, which is not bad to play in either. But pick 2 to start: Anderson, Alderete, Lefay, Harry Wilson, Gay. 2. Probably Lefay and Alderete, I reckon. Who would you triple captain, Haaland or Ekitike this week? Look, I'd be very tempted just to triple captain Ekitike as a massive differential, but I'm not convinced he's necessarily a better captain than Haaland this week. To be fair to those on 0 free transfers, a lot of popular FPL players got injured around the time. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, but like if you've got no free transfers and Bruno, and that means you've used 5 free that means you use 5 free transfers from game week 16 and by Saturday of game week 17 because Man United played on Sunday, right? Or Monday. Is the and sorry, that means you've used 6 transfers before Man United played on Monday. Who would you triple captain, Haaland or Ekitike this week? Yeah, I just answered that. I feel like, I don't know. It's easy to say that I would consider Ekitike, but if it was me, I'd probably just triple captain Haaland, if I'm honest. -4 to bring Cunha or wait 1 week, already -4. Depends who for. What's the alternative? Who would you be playing instead? I need a 7.5 million midfielder or below, but already own Semenyo, Rice, Saka, Enzo in midfield. Who should I pick? Sharda? Maybe. 7 million. Don't hate him. If I'm on free hit with 0.1 million, Harry Wilson replacement. Enzo Lefay, probably. Bruno Guimaraes and Semenyo to Rice and Verts or just roll. Or play 4-4-2, by the way. Bruno and Semenyo to Rice and Verts or just roll. No, I think Rice and Verts is quite nice. Yeah. When will I play wildcard? No idea. Springpong captain? No, don't think so. Do you have a plan to buy Rodgers in a couple of weeks? No, I probably won't be buying Rodgers. I don't think. Who would you triple captain? Haaland or Ekitike? Yeah, I've done that one a lot already now. Rice or Bruno Guimaraes? Rice. Bench boost needs to be played this week or can be played in 19. Yeah, 18 or 19. Calafiori or O'Reilly for free hit? Probably Calafiori at home. Better defense. Would you replace Nkapie for a -4 if you're on bench boost? I guess I'd be tempted, yeah. I wouldn't like to go into bench boost with a major risk like that. Like some people have bench boosted with yellow flags, but they've not been as risky as this one is. Like there's a really good chance Nkapie just doesn't play. I might risk it because I'm probably going to have a bench option. Like I'm quite tempted to get Verts and Paquetá. I can do Fernandes to Verts and then Dewsbury Hall to Paquetá and play 3-5-2. Then I've got 2 defenders that can cover for Nkapie. And then next week we can just sell Nkapie to like Chow or Lewis Hall maybe. Would you 38 months, Alex? Would you start Vandenberg and bench Richards, or would you sell Richards and get Tarkowski Keane? Also have Semenyo versus Vandenberg. 2 free chances would improve my defense long term. Then do it. I mean, if it's going to improve your defense long term and also it improves it this week, then it's probably quite a good move, right? Now, if the question is, okay, but which one, Tarkowski or Keane? Well, Keane's probably going to lose his place when Branthwaite's back. You probably get at least 4 game weeks out of Keane, I would guess. Tarkowski is a better long-term hold because I don't think he will lose his place, but he's only 1 yellow card away from a yellow. So if he gets that yellow in this week or next week, how badly is that going to affect your team, you know? Really, if you're going to buy Tarkowski and you're going to guarantee that he's going to get a yellow, you actually want him to get it this week, I think. Bruno to Cunha from -4 or Munoz to Van Dijk -4. I would just get Cunha, I think. -4. All your chips are still available. Wow, you're going to have to choose to blow 2 of them. I mean, in that case, I would probably free hit this week and wildcard next week. No one guarantees Keane loses his place once Branthwaite is back. This is serious speculation. I mean, it's very good speculation. It's a very good educated guess that Branthwaite will come back into the team. It's very unlikely, in my opinion, he'll be benched. It could happen because Keane's played pretty well. The chances are Branthwaite will play. Now, it might be that they don't rush him. So he could be back after 4 weeks and they don't rush him for the first couple of games. But I'd be very surprised if when he's fully fit, if he's not first choice. Yeah, that's what I mean. It has been a long time since he was out. So they absolutely might not rush him. But I also think, I don't know. I feel like people want to buy Keane. So that's, I don't know. You could be right. You could absolutely be right. I wouldn't guarantee. Like, I'm not saying that after 4 weeks, Keane is absolutely done as an option. Put it that way. Nkapie has the flu. He is out. According to who? According to who does Nkapie have the flu? Bring him out. Oh my god. Probably not. Are you waiting to the last second to take out Bruno or waiting for news? I just don't know what I'm doing, so I might as well just wait. Like, what's the point in doing it any earlier, you know? Like, nothing changes if I do it now or if I do it in an hour and 45 minutes. And maybe I'll have some light bulb moment. I'm probably not going to go Ekatike. I don't think it works very well for my team. But it's not going to be fun watching Liverpool tomorrow without him. Frimpong and Raya or Pickford and Van Dijk on free hit. I mean, Pickford and Van Dijk is just safer. Simple as that. I suspect Frimpong will start. I'd be surprised if he doesn't. Like, in fact, I'd be really surprised if he doesn't because Szoboszlai is obviously out. But it could be from right back. Calling an Ekatike hat-trick this week could happen. No Ekatike when you just said midfield options under 7 million are so thin. Feels like... But how does that make sense? Ekatike's not under 7 million. He's 9 million. So I feel like what you've just said doesn't really make much sense. Unless I'm missing something. If anything, doesn't that make getting Ekatike worse because there's no cheap options to buy? Is Richards out this week? We don't know. He's just a doubt. If so, should I start Minte or Guiu? Minte. Yeah, but Guiu's just not going to play, is he? Like, he's just not favoured by Maresca at all. When is Gabriel coming back? As of Tuesday, according to Arteta, he wasn't in training, so he's not going to be back for 18. I would say probably unlikely he's back for 19, but it's hard to know. Thoughts on Nkapie playing? Again, I think there's a chance, but how big that chance is, I'm not sure. Your transfers out thing isn't rotating. That is a good point. Let me fix that. Also, if I just do that, it should be... Damn, 1.6 million transfers out for Bruno Fernandes. Need to pull the trigger. You have 4 transfers at hand. Yeah, I'm going to make transfers. I'm going to make transfers this week. Don't worry. Bruno Fernandes to Parma -4. Probably not. How come Wolves home, Leeds home, and Burnley at home in the next 5 not work for your team? Because I'd have to sell Saka and Bruno, really. Just because I've got other issues to fix as well. And like selling Saka, like basically from, I don't know. I still think Thiago's kind of okay for one, and he's also cheap. So like you can tell me that Ekatike is better than Thiago. I would agree in isolation, but there's a price difference, right? If I sell Thiago at 6.9 million, Ekatike is 9 million. He's over 2 million more now. It's just, I don't know. I just don't know how valuable Ekatike is, really. It's a weird one because I do think he's good. Like, I really do. Like, I promise you, I don't think he's a bad pick. I just don't think it works for my team. I don't really want to sell. I don't know. I don't mind selling Thiago, I guess. It's fine. I think I'd rather just deal with Dewsbury Hall, Fernandez, and Nkapie rather than get Ekatike, basically. And also, as soon as Gabriel's back, he's going to be someone that I want. When Fernandez is back, he's going to be someone that I want. He is Liverpool's number 9, but he's a number 9 without penalties. Again, like, he's good. Like, if you want to buy him, you should buy him. Like, he's got over 1 million transfers in. There's a reason people are buying him. I just don't think I'm going to buy him. That's all. And it'll probably hurt. He'll score a hat-trick tomorrow, and it'll be a massive regret. But I don't know. To be honest, I've kind of accepted I'm not buying him at this point. Semenyo and Wilson, 4 free transfers. 1 keep for 18 to Cunha and Lefay, 19. I don't see any point in buying Lefay next week. To Cunha and Lefay in 18. 3 to Verts and Lefay, 18. On to Cunha, 19. Just get Cunha and Lefay this week. If you're going to buy Lefay anyway, you might as well get him this week, right? Nkapie, Minte, Richards for 1 spot. Who to start, bench 1 and bench 2? Probably that order. Nkapie, Minte, Richards. Buy Voltemada or Bowen or keep Thiago. I'd probably just keep Thiago. Who's going to do penalties for Liverpool? I suspect it'll probably be McAllister this week, but it could be Ekatike. I know I've said that he's a £9 million forward with no penalties. Maybe he does have penalties this week. But I suspect it should be Szoboszlai after that, right? Why is that not working? Yeah, it should be Szoboszlai from next week. You'd think. I think Szoboszlai took a penalty with no Isak, no Salah, and with Ekatike on the pitch, I think. Any worries about Semenyo playing? Not really. I know there's obviously rumours about him leaving, but he'll play. I'll be very surprised if he doesn't. What's my thoughts on Mason Mount? He should start as long as he can stay fit. Have I thought about Harry Wilson yet? Harry Wilson could be fully fit and I would not be buying him. Bring Rice in for Wilson or Reinders Cunha for ends. Bring Rice for Wilson or... Oh, sorry, yeah. Rice for Wilson or Reinders. Cunha for Enzo and take out Thiago for Obi, and I already have Ekatike. Yes. Yeah. I think so, just about. The Cunha one as well. I'll do the Cunha one as well. Start Harry Wilson or Mukiele. Probably Mukiele. No info on Nkapie. I went early and did Timber and Thiago to Keane and Ekatike. See, this is what this is why I wouldn't be selling Timber to get Ekatike, I don't think. I guess Keane's quite good though. But now with the injuries to Nkapie and Bruno, my 11th player will be Krupi. Get Cunha for -4. Probably, yeah. Bench 1 defender, Anderson, Vandenberg, Senesi. Since Edwards took over, strikers don't score versus Wolves. Yeah, until they do though, right? Team review, not going to happen, I'm afraid. Wildcard this week, McAllister in and free transfers to Szoboszlai game week 19. If you've got like a lot of transfers saved up, yes. Otherwise, I would just get Szoboszlai in and play like an extra defender this week or something like that. If you've got like 1 transfer next week, I probably wouldn't set up a move like that. Szoboszlai, Wilson, Guiu, 2 free transfers, 4.1 in the bank. Should I go Thiago to Ekatike? Thiago to Ekatike, Wilson to Vert, Szoboszlai to Vert, Szoboszlai to... Oh my god. Szoboszlai, Wilson, Guiu, 2 free transfers. Should I go Thiago to Ekatike, Wilson to Verts? I'm not really... Are these like... Oh my god. Is this like multiple options or are they like part of the same moves? Thiago to Ekatike, Wilson to Vert, Szoboszlai to Vert, Szoboszlai to Saka or Wilson to Lefay and Guiu to Ekatike. Probably Wilson to Lefay and Guiu to Ekatike, I think. But the thing is with a move like that then puts you on a really cheap midfielder you probably don't want to play most weeks. So how does that affect your future weeks? You'd have to look at that yourself, I guess. But I wouldn't bother selling Szoboszlai if you can bench him this week. Do Ekatike for the community. We're just trying to look after you. I'm not getting Ekatike. I promise you right now. I don't know what moves I'm making, but I can promise you it's not going to be Ekatike come the deadline. I really don't know if Nkapie is going to play. No idea. I don't even know if my guess would be that he is going to play. I mean, there's a chance. I know you got Cunha. I was planning to bring him in before the Bruno injury, but how appealing is Cunha now? Pretty appealing. Could be on penalties, 90 minutes most weeks, I would say. Is there I don't think there's a better option for his price or below. I mean, Verts maybe for a couple of weeks, but honestly, I think Cunha's better. I think Cunha's better than Semenyo as well. On bench boost, Nkapie, Richards, Bruno Fernandes, Dewsbury Hall to Keane. Oh yeah, Mukiele, Rice, Verts. -4. Yes. Do it right now. Bench one of Senesi, Nkapie, or Chow. Chow probably. I would go for Verts and Calafiori so you can sell Saka for Palmer later on to bring in Gabriel. Yes, I can afford that. Yeah, although then I'm still stuck with Dewsbury Hall. Liverpool going to destroy my rank. Yeah, probably. Just like Rodgers, just like Wilson, just like Caicedo. Semenyo a sell next game week. Yeah, probably. Triple captain Haaland or Ekitike. I'm going to say Haaland. I'd be very tempted to take a punt on Ekitike, but I think Haaland's probably just better. Bruno Guimaraes essential for under 100k. Bruno GM. I'm not sure what that means. My logic for Timber to Keane is Timber only has 5 more points this year than Keane, despite getting 24 points in one game. Yeah, fair enough. Thoughts on Mateus Fernandes? Not many. Is it Mateus Fernandes? What's his first name? I mean, my instinct was to say Mateus, but I'm not sure that's right. I have to look it up. Fernandes, West Ham. Oh no, it is Mateus Fernandes. I don't think he's better than Paquetá. Oh, under 5.5. Depends how long you need them for. I mean, Enzo Lefebvre this week's quite good. He's on penalty, so I'd probably like Mateus Fernandes' stats are terrible. They're worse than Paquetá's this season. And no one wants Paquetá, right? Ravi, new member, thank you. Early transfers absolutely killed me this week. Might end up starting with 9 players. Ouch. Are you seriously considering Paquetá? I mean, I don't want to buy him, but he unlocks stuff. He unlocks stuff, basically. Like, if I go for, like, under 6 million, who's better than Paquetá? Like, minutes and penalties. I appreciate he's not going to get much else, but under 6 million, who's better? Mason Mount? The problem with Mount is, can he stay fit to play the next 4 games? Yeah, Enzo Lefebvre for this week, but otherwise, yeah, I'm not going to. Wilson's a doubt, and then he's got rubbish fixtures. Jorginho Ruta, I just don't want to buy a Brighton player. I really don't. I have thought about him, but I probably won't go there. Start 2, Gay, Alderete, Wilson, Anderson. Alderete and Gay, I think. Alex, 40 months. My only possible playing bench player is Van Heck, Arsenal, and he's flagged. I think he'll be fine, by the way, but worth a -4 in Nkapie to Keane. No, I probably wouldn't take a -4. Will I start Nkapie after your transfers? It depends what transfers I make. If I sell Nkapie, then I won't start him. If I keep him, I'll start him. Grealish or Mount as a punt? Probably Grealish, because I could guarantee the minutes from him. Do you think Chiesa will start against Wolves? I mean, it's possible because of the amount of injuries and suspensions they've got. So, yeah, it's definitely a possibility. Paquetá has, again, that's fine, but who's better under 6 million? Like, Jorginho Ruta doesn't have the guaranteed minutes, right? I mean, he has done recently, but how long is that going to last? And if he gets some injury or something, how much do I trust Hertzler to tell me when he's going to be back? I mean, Ruta's goal threat so far is 0.14 expected goals per 90. 0.14. 0.14, is that it? Paquetá's is 0.08. It's not like miles behind. Lefebvre's better this week. supposed to be taking a break from FPL, but here I am, having already done Bruno to Verts. Well, I appreciate it. Go and enjoy the rest of your day. Jared Bowen scares me long term as a non-owner. It doesn't really scare me, to be honest. I mean, he's a good option, but I don't think he's the kind of player. Like, I'm much more worried about Ekitike. He's got huge ownership, great fixtures. Like Jared Bowen, his ownership was semi-okay, I guess. And he's had how many transfers in? He's had 100,000 transfers in. And, Ekitike's had over 1 million. 1.2 million. I'm definitely more scared of Ekitike than I am Jared Bowen. As well as even if Bowen's ownership was as high as Ekitike, I still wouldn't be that scared of him. Start 2, Tavernier, Alderete, Anderson. I would probably bench Anderson, I think. Do I think Šeško starts? Probably. Yeah. I think it'll be a very similar team to last time. Would you not put Dewsbury Hall in your starting 11? Long shot with 0 downside. He's not going to play. I don't know why he's orange flagged, to be honest. I think it was just because... imagine if Dewsbury Hall's back, by the way. Oh my god. Imagine if I sell him when he's back. That would be such a killer. But surely he's not just straight back in the team. They could just be on the bench. Oh, don't put that thought in my head right now. What if Dewsbury Hall's back? Honestly, he was the key to everything, Dewsbury Hall. Stack is a must. I mean, he's not, is he? Not really. Not to say he's a bad option, but he's not a must. Come on. If you stream for long enough, someone will tell you that pretty much every player is a must along the way. Bench Thiago and play Wilson Anderson. I would easily play Thiago ahead of both of them, even if they are fully fit. We are very light. If he can play, he will play. I can't keep Dewsbury Hall on the off chance he plays against Burnley. Surely not. Like, all the rumours were that he was going to be out for like 4 weeks or something. I do appreciate that David Moyes hasn't actually told us how long he's out. No one's talking about Reinders. I know it's weird because he's a must. Thoughts on getting one of Verts or Frimpong or Keane as a differential? Well, I mean, the most interesting one there is Verts probably, right? Frimpong is fine for this week, but I wouldn't want him long term. Szoboszlai looks good if he drops in price again. I'm very tempted to buy. Like, I've got half a view of my fixtures to make a move so that I can get Szoboszlai next week. So let me just make this a tiny bit smaller so I can just do it easily. Like, God, that's really tiny. Like if I do Paquetá in this week, I can do Nketiah to Timber. Although I really don't want to buy Timber at 6.5 million, and then I can do Dewsbury Hall to Szoboszlai next week. I think that's quite nice. Like that would be. Hang on, that one. Ah, there. Like, if Szoboszlai wasn't flagged this week and he could play against Wolves, that would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Van Dijk, Timber, only one of Senesi, Vandenberg, Anderson. But that midfield, I mean, Paquetá's not great. I don't know. Do you think Pope comes back into the 11? Probably eventually. Whether or not it's this week, I don't know. So that's one option. Or I just dodge Timber for now. I don't want to accidentally click confirm. What's the other option to get me Szoboszlai next week? Oh, yeah. So one option is to do Fernandez to Sharda. And then next week, I can actually do Senesi out instead of Nketiah. If Nketiah is fit, I could keep him next week and do Senesi to Hull. But I won't want to do it this week. So if I go for that route, it would basically be Fernandez to Sharda, and then I'd play 4-4-2 this week. Like that. Triple Brentford. Yeah, that's the only slight issue. Or I just get Wirtz and Paquetá and just leave Szoboszlai. How is that midfield better than Ekitike? Again, though, right? Most of them are cheaper. When you say how is that midfield better than Ekitike, it's not like about in like is Paquetá better than Ekitike? No, but he's 3 million cheaper. We're all selling Semenyo when he moves to Man City. You'd probably be selling him anyway, even if he stays at Bournemouth. I don't think... the thing is, if I buy Calafiori, that's my spot for Gabriel. Unless I sell Saka, but that's not a guarantee. What would you say are the top priority transfers in the near future? There probably isn't many until Gabriel's back, till Fernandes is back, or until we get to the Chelsea's good fixtures. Yeah, I'm not going to do Guiu to Ekitike, Bruno to a really cheap midfielder. It's just not going to happen. They got too many other issues to deal with. Saka, Minte, Hall, Raul Jimenez to Wirtz, Cunha, Rice, Guiu. That feels rubbish, no? Or Saka, Raul to Cunha, Ekitike. Yeah, I guess the Saka, Raul Jimenez one's okay, I think. The first one sounds rubbish to me. I guess it's not... I guess it's okay, but... Cunha rising tonight. Plan is Bruno to Florian this week and Wilson to Cunha for midweek. Only one free transfer. Should I make the move once the United game is over or wait? Well, you're going to get priced out? Because if you're not going to get priced out, you should probably wait, right? Why does everyone like Szoboszlai so much? Is it a lack of options? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, again, it's like the Paquetá question. Who, like, let's say he drops to 6.5 million before next deadline. Who's better for that price and under? Like, guaranteed minutes and penalties. And probably most likely to play in midfield. Not all the time, though. The thing with Wirtz is, I hate all my moves this week, honestly. In some ways, I feel like getting Paquetá is just the easy option. Like, how good are Wirtz minutes going to be once Gakpo's back, which could be soon. Like, Gakpo could be back for game week 19. Then what happens to Wirtz? Yeah, I could just get Wirtz for 1 week and then worry about it next week. I could even sell Wirtz next week. I don't know. But then I feel like it's just the same problems all over again. Yeah, Anthony Gordon, I have thought about him. Do you know what? I didn't almost put him in earlier, but I did really consider him. But the minutes are so bad. Almost one. As Rodgers really got 1 million he cannot have the same amount of transfers in as Ekitike. Oh my god, that is unreal. 962,000 transfers in for Rodgers with Chelsea away, Arsenal away. That is mental. And here I am worried about bringing in Paquetá. I'm telling you, I'd rather have Paquetá than Rodgers. Every week you hate making transfers and all. But yeah, unless I'm buying Gabriel or Fernandes, I just don't want to buy anyone else. Wirtz is world class. He won't get dropped. It's not about getting dropped, though, is it? It's about whether you start every game. And there is a chance he doesn't start every game. There's a difference between getting dropped and being rested. Minutes don't matter. Points do. Yeah. Wilson and Capier flagged. No transfers left. Bench boost to use. Should I hold or use this week? Team is way better on bench boost this week. It's not that great, I guess, if you got Wilson and Capier. I'd be tempted to transfer them out. Or sorry, I'd be tempted to... I don't know, because I can't see, obviously, your whole team. Please don't send me your whole team. Wilson, I don't know. The thing is, you could risk it, but then you could be 2 players down, and your bench boost is rubbish. I really don't know what to do in that case. My gut feeling is I would wait until next week. Minutes don't matter. What matters is how you spend the minutes. Gordon's very effective. But again, you're only saying that because he got points very recently, right? You know, nobody was saying that after he got 24 minutes and 6 points against Spurs. Or when he got 1 point against Sunderland. You know, earlier on this season, he got 66, 69, 69, 75, 45 minutes with scores of 3-3, 2-2, 1. Why wasn't he so effective then? Saliba has to go, or okay. Why does he have to go? What price should Haaland be to not consider him? Don't know, 16 or 17 million maybe? I think Gordon, if he starts, is pretty good. He wasn't injured, was he? I just told you that he played the minutes. Look, by all means, buy Gordon. I actually don't think he's bad over the next few weeks. I just don't think I can buy him myself because I'd just be worried about early subs and benchings. Does his form not look better? Well, he scored points. Yeah, he scored points recently, if that's what you're... Would you play an Everton defender or Raul Jimenez? Probably Raul Jimenez. Thoughts on one of... yeah, probably. Thoughts on one of Frimpong, Verts, Keane as a differential? I think I already answered that. Verts is probably the one. Do you think Enzo will start against Villa? I'd be very surprised if he doesn't. Does early subs matter if he does well with the minutes he got? Well, all I'm saying is once he stops getting 10-pointers and doesn't have the minutes, the viewpoint from everyone will be a bit different, you know? That's all. I mean, if you think he's going to keep getting 10-pointers with reduced minutes, then obviously, yeah, he's really good. And the fixtures are there, so maybe he will. Having Capier, Burn, Richard, sell one to Keane, and Bruno to Gordon, 2 for each. I've just spoke a lot about Gordon. I think Gordon's fine if you want to take the punt on him, honestly. Having Capier, Burn, Richard, sell one to Keane. Probably Dan Burn, because you know he's definitely out, right? I would not buy Casemiro. I mean, I don't think it's terrible. I wouldn't do it. Any consideration to get Rice? Not really. Mostly because I'd have to sell Saka. Why the interest in Szoboszlai when Gravenberch has more goals, assists, and Defcon? I know, but like, you know, Caicedo's got loads of points as well, but I'm also not interested in him, you know? It's about future points, not who's already scored points. Starts, and also obviously I'm not buying him this week anyway. Starts Senesi or Anderson. Anderson. You can sell in Capier to get Rice. Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, I would definitely want to go back to double Arsenal defence at some point. It's not a bad shout, honestly. Like in Capier to Tarkowski and then Fernandes to Rice, it's really not a bad shout. And then Dewsbury Hall up to Szoboszlai next week. I just know that I'm going to want Gabriel as soon as he's back. So that means I've then got to sell an Arsenal attacker, which might be fine. Like Saka to Palmer might be okay. But what if I want to keep Saka, you know? I'm not going to run down a free hit squad in this video. I did one on the final thoughts video that went out yesterday if you want to check that out. Should I start Wilson or bench Roy O'Reilly? Probably bench. Kaiser, 27 months. Merry Christmas to you too. Start Harry Wilson or Alderete? I reckon Alderete. Best Bruno Fernandes replacement for 18 and 19. Verts, Cunha for Saka. Cunha for Saka or wait till next game week? I would keep Saka this week. Rodgers is the enabler down from Bruno to get an Ekatike. That's why he's so highly transferred in. I think he's highly transferred in because he got massive points against 2 weak defences. Honestly. I mean, again, it's fine. If you think Rodgers is the best option as an enabler for 7.3 or below, I mean, absolutely fine. Put it this way, I can't quite convince myself to buy Gordon, but I would 100% buy Gordon over Rodgers right now. Which tells you how, like, high up I feel about Rodgers. Connor, thank you. Gordon is not a long-term pick. You can easily switch to Rodgers or Neto later. But I could just buy Verts and then switch later, right? I've already answered that question about Cunha Rising, by the way. Ray is taking up an Arsenal spot. Yes. Look, again, I think Rice is good. I don't know if he's so good I need to sell my Arsenal players to get him. That's all. Best 6.5 million option for midfield, please. Great question. Grealish or Paquetá probably this week. Could Nkapie out of the squad just be a needed rest? Possibly, but I find it hard to believe that he would just be out of the squad completely. So I think he's definitely a doubt. Am I captain in Ekatike? I don't even own him. 1 free transfer in Capier, Richards, and Wilson. Only Goodmanson on my bench that's playing for sure. Might end up with 10 players. Yeah, possibly. You could take a hit, right? Caicedo or Wilson? I'm thinking Caicedo. I would buy neither. What price should Haaland... I've already answered that one. 2 free transfers. Voltamada, Timber to Ekatike, Keane, or Roll. I wouldn't be selling... I really don't see the point in selling Timber, to be honest. So I'd probably Roll. If you can do Voltamada to Ekatike another way, then consider that. But I don't really see the point in selling Timber now. Is Nkapie guaranteed the full 90 minutes? No, not in any way. The doubt is excuse enough to go Nkapie to Van Dijk. Yeah, I think selling Nkapie is probably fine, to be honest. I'm a little bit tempted to go back to Timber. How are the pigs in blankets? Very good. There's actually some left over. I really couldn't eat them all. They've done the same with Timber against Bruges, if memory serves me correctly. Didn't even feature on the bench with a knock and then started against Wolves. Yeah, that is true. That is true. The thing is, the thing with Nkapie is he did finish the game. So he picked up an injury in the game, but he finished the whole game. I don't know. I really don't know what to do with him. The thing is, Gabriel's just so awkward. I don't think I can buy Gabriel anytime soon. 2 free transfers, Saka to Rice and Thiago to Ekatike. Again, it's fine. I probably wouldn't do that myself, but it's fine if you want to do it. Why not Calafiori? Yeah, I mean, yeah, why not Calafiori? It's a great question. His minutes should be fine. He might play centre-back this week, but it's not a huge issue. Bench Anderson or Senesi. Senesi, what's the Timber news? Why are people selling? Everyone just wants Ekatike. There's no Timber news. 0.2 in the bank, 2 free transfers. Was hoping to bench boost Bruno, Dewsbury Hill, Wilson, Richards, Flower. What should I do? I would settle for 3 players playing. Or sell 3 of them and take a hit. I think Bruno's got to go. Dewsbury Hill, very unlikely to feature. Wilson's probably the most likely to play. I mean, Wilson and Richards, it's really hard to know, to be honest. So I'd maybe sell 3 of them for a hit. Nkapie was running and jumping out of the Carabao. Yeah, but there's no problems with his legs, right? It's his shoulder. Unless he was, well, I guess you do kind of use your shoulder to jump, like to like boost you up, I guess. But I don't know if him jumping is enough to say he's going to play. Free hit now or 19. I honestly, I'm not going to be able to just look at your team and tell you when to free hit. Like, because when you've got 3 free transfers, you need, like, if you're going to free hit next week, what are you going to do with those transfers this week and vice versa? Yeah, I can't really help you, to be honest. I mean, Nkapie, like, is a doubt this week, but then next week he could be a doubt as well, and he could be a sell, so you could sell him this week or next week. Van Heck's got okay fixtures next week. You've put in twice. Bruno needs to be sold at some point anyway. My gut feeling is I would probably use the transfers on those issues that are longer term and free hit next week, but I mean, either works really. Like you've spent more time looking at your team than I have. There's no way I can tell you which is the best week, really. Selling Capier to Saliba or Calafiori. Calafiori's more interesting, I think, but Saliba's probably safer for minutes. Keeps the boss line or transfer to Gravenberch to avoid starting Stack or Goodmanson. Just keeps the boss line, I think. Would you move Thiago to Calvert-Lewin, which would enable a move for Esteve to Keane? I am bench boosting. I can't remember what Esteve's got this week. No, Everton at home. No, I don't think so. Bench 1 in Capio, Riley, Anderson, Keane, and Capier. And Anderson, I think. Semenyo on wildcard and 0 million, stick or switch. I would not have Semenyo on a wildcard. I think he's a sell after this week. Oh, that's a good point about Stev, actually. You've just made me realise he was a doubt, wasn't he? He's a doubt, yeah. Yeah, sorry. Thiago, yeah. Okay. Thiago to Calvert-Lewin might be okay. Calvert-Lewin's not a great pick longer term. He's fine, I guess. Sunderland away. Yeah, I probably would do that on a bench boost. Semenyo and Reece James to Verts and Keane sounds risky. Doesn't sound that risky to me. Unless I'm missing something. Sanchez or Dubravka versus a not ideal Everton attack. Sanchez probably. If you didn't have Cunha, would you have transferred out Bruno Tim? Yes. Yes, I would. Yes, absolutely. It would have been so easy. Is Rice fixture proof? No. Is anyone? Is it worth moving Fernandes for a -4 this week, even though I have 11 players I can play with that? It depends how good those 11 players are. If the team looks good, then yeah, you could wait. Who to start? Heaven, Gay, Vandenberg, Van Heck, Senesi. It depends how many you need to start, right? Probably Gay, then Vandenberg, then Senesi, then Heaven. Something like that. Why Verts? He does not score FPL points. What if he does score some FPL points, though? Okay, hour and 10 minutes. I still got no idea what I'm going to do. I really don't know what to do about Nkapie. I really don't know what to do about Nkapie. Do I just get Timber? Start Keane or Xhaka? Keane, I think. 5 free transfers. Bruno and Thiago to Cunha and Ekitike. Bruno and Thiago to Cunha and Ekitike. Need 0.4. Timber or Van Dijk to Calafiori or Van Dijk to Canate to fun. Oh, I hate both those second moves, by the way, but I guess Timber to Calafiori. You could sell Nkapie to Coyote. Yeah, I could. Don't think I will though. I tell you, if I was going to sell Nkapie, I quite like. If I do Nkapie to Keane, let me just put Keane in a sec. Nkapie to Keane, Fernandes to Verts. Let me just put that in. That leaves me enough money next week to do Dewsbury Hall to Szoboszlai. I think that looks quite nice. It's a very cheap defense than I'm used to, though. Basically, I would just get Gabriel back once I sell Cunha in game week 22 or something. I obviously wouldn't do the Szoboszlai move this week. So I would just play 4-4-2. I don't know about it, though. I just don't think Verts is that good. I just don't think Verts is that good. Well, it's quite easy to get Bruno back. Just sell Cunha, sell Verts, right? I just don't think that defense is that great. And it leaves nothing in the bank. Thoughts on Dallo, only 4.4 pretty attacking. Yeah, not bad for the 3 game weeks after Newcastle, I would say. But Man United just do not keep clean sheets. That's the problem. Sorry, I missed some questions here. Is Keane a transfer waiting to happen in 4 weeks? Possibly, yeah. Yeah, I think you get 4 game weeks and then it becomes a little bit riskier. He's not a guaranteed transfer to happen, as we discussed earlier, but he could be one. Best Nkapie replacement 5.4 or below. Keane? Probably, honestly. Next week, maybe Lewis Hall or Chow. Wilson Doubt, play Dallo or Caicedo. Caicedo, I guess. I'd probably just play Wilson, though. Bench Nkapie and play Gravenberch and roll. I mean, if you've got Gravenberch, this is the week to play him, yeah? Probably. Yeah. Senesi, Timber, Anderson. Use free transfers. Bruno, Richards, Guiu on bench. Gordon from -4. Senesi, Timber, Anderson, Mukiele. Use free transfers. Bruno, Richards, Guillaume on bench. Oh, Gordon from -4. No, I'd probably just roll with that, I think. Why do you rate Saka higher than Rice? Well, I think Saka is probably more likely to score more points over the next 10 weeks than Rice. It's not that I necessarily rate him higher. I just don't really want to sell Saka to Rice. That's not a transfer I feel like I need to do. Like, if I was wildcarding, I'd maybe buy Rice and not Saka. But to actually sell Saka when I don't need to, just don't see the point. Did you see Marmoush's goal in their 2-1? No, I've not seen any of AFCON, to be honest. Is it a bad idea to put Semenyo on the bench this week and put Tarkovsky in instead? No, I don't know if I would do that, but it's not bad, I would say. I like the Mount punt as long as he can stay fit. Senesi and Alderete, one to play. Alderete. On bench boost, would you do Kanate to Van Dijk for free? Maybe if I had a lot of free transfers. Deadline time is not wrong. If you get Ekatike, would you captain him? I'd consider it, but probably not. I'm not going to get him, by the way. Petrovic or Dubravka? Should I transfer Petrovic out for a better goalkeeper eventually? At some point, maybe, if you got spare transfers, but I wouldn't worry about it. I'd be tempted to play Dubravka. Captaincy, if an option, should sway. Yeah, if Ekatike was miles better, but he's not. Best in Capier replacement. Depends how much money you got. Dubravka versus Verbruggen. I'd play Dubravka in that case. I mean, that's pretty much... Like, the rotation's pretty good between Dubravka and... Like, it's never great to play Dubravka, but Verbruggen's literally playing Arsenal. Yeah, just answered that one about Verbruggen and Dubravka. Short term, would you pick 2 Everton players against Burnley? Yeah, why not? They're playing Burnley, right? Bruno Guimaraes or Gordon? I would take the risk on Gordon, I think. If you want to see a free hit draft, check out the final thoughts video yesterday. What about doing Capia to Keane, Thiago to Ekatike, Dewsbury to Paquetá and sell Bruno for someone else? Yeah, 4 transfers just to get Ekatike, though. Am I sceptical about Rodgers? I'd be sceptical about any player about to play Chelsea away and Arsenal away. Unless it was a double. And even then, I wouldn't be that interested, probably. Bruno and Thiago to Cunha and Ekatike. Yeah, see, that just looks quite nice. Or Bruno, Saka, Guiu to Cunha, Rice and Ekatike. Is it worth downgrading Saka to keep Thiago? I don't think so. Why not play Vandenberg? No, I can play Vandenberg. The reason to go... The reason to go... Oh, what's the move you just said? Oh, yeah, Nkapie to Keane is to free up money. Basically. Thoughts on going for a back 5 on free hit? Keane, Timber, Nunez, Van Dijk and Frimpong. Yeah, it could work. Depends which attackers you're missing out on, though, I suppose. But yeah, potentially it could work. I'm not an expert, but this triple move feels rubbish. I also don't like it that much, to be honest. I mean, I could buy Wirtz as a 1-week punt and then just sell him next week. Just do Bruno to Wirtz and then decide what to do properly next week. But like, what does that unlock? Like, if I buy Lewis Hall next week for Nkapie, I just don't think it helps me at all. Go and Wirtz 1-week punt. I'm so confused. The thing is, someone said to me earlier, like, you always regret making your moves. So the thing is, I do often regret like the moves I make because I'm not quite sure, but at least I've got some clue about what I want to do. This week, I really just don't know. So I'm regretting nothing right now because I don't know what move I want to make. It's just all horrible. Just roll. I can't roll. My team's not good enough to roll. I mean, I could play a back 5. Could play a back five with no bench. I can't play a back five with no bench with 4 free transfers. Like even I'm not that willing to roll, is what I'm trying to say very badly. Yeah. Thiago or Raul Jimenez to Ekitike. Raul Jimenez. Or just roll, got 2 free transfers. If you've got a nice move to do Jimenez to Ekitike, I would probably take it. Gordon minutes next to maybe 70 average for both. Is he the best Newcastle attacker? Probably, yeah. Play 2, Hall, Anderson, Minte. I'd probably bench Hall out of those. On free hit, start Alderete or Frimpong. If you've got Frimpong, you've got to play him. Surely. Otherwise, you're wasting a Liverpool spot. Why do you want to sell Verts next week? I don't necessarily want to sell Verts next week. But I do need money to upgrade Dewsbury Hall. Imagine how much more info you'll have after these games, though. Just roll. Well, yeah, obviously, but there are points to be had this week. So there's moves to be making. The back 5 free hit as a front 5 of Saka, Palmer, Foden, Hahn, and Ekitike. I mean, it's quite nice. Do you think next season they might change the amount of max free transfers to 3, 5? I think the maximum amount of transfers being 5 is fine. I think what's not fine is giving everyone 5 free transfers. It's kind of sucked. What about Mount for less than 6 million? Yeah, not a terrible option. It's just fitness I worry about with him. Will I consider Neto when Chelsea's fixtures improve? Yes, although I suspect Palmer and Enzo will be the 2 attackers that I look at more, but possibly Neto. In cap here, replacement 5.4. Nico O'Reilly maybe? Or just go to Keane? If I think Wilson will play and Man City will concede, should I play Wilson over him? I mean, probably, if you feel strongly about it, yeah. You get slated for rolling, then when you propose making moves, you're advised to roll. Trust me, I will always get that. Again, you'll always get every scenario for my team. There'll be enough comments where someone says that it's a good move, someone says it's a bad move. Always happens. I don't think anyone's slating me for making moves, by the way. They just don't like the moves I'm making, which is just standard. Paquetá will play every second. You say that, but it hasn't been recently. He did get sent off in one of the games, I suppose, didn't he? He's played 81, 88, 77. He's not been playing 90s all the time recently. I do quite like Verts and Paquetá this week. There's something about it I quite like. Just the thing is, if Szoboszlai does keep penalties, he's just pretty good value. Sounds like you hate AFCON. What, because I want to buy Verts? That's a bit of a stretch. If I didn't get the 5 free transfer, I would have been fried into French fries by now. So many people would have. That's what's so frustrating about it. I mean, to be fair, I got bailed out being able to buy Foden. Paquetá versus Bruno Guimaraes for a hit or just play cash. I mean, I probably wouldn't take a hit for either of those 2 players, no. Why don't I watch AFCON? Just don't really. I've never watched. I don't think I've ever watched an AFCON game. I don't think I've ever watched. What's the South American equivalent? Why can't I think of the name of that tournament? I don't think I've ever watched that either. It's Christmas. Why can't I think of the tournament in South America, the equivalent? Oh my God, someone's going to say it in the chat, but I want to think of it myself. I've got a blank. Oh, Copa America. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a game of that either, to be honest. Got Richards and Capier Wilson on only 1 bench, -4. Yeah, but who though? How much money have you got to upgrade Wilson or something? Bench 1, Gay, Collins, or Harry Wilson? Probably Gay, I think. One of these to start. Goodmanson, Minte, or Esteve. Probably Minte. Why are people so like angry? What's your issue with AFCON? There's no issue. I just haven't watched it. Relax. Like I said, I haven't watched Copa America either. Chill out. Why do you think Sharda is an option? Just nailed. Good minutes. I mean, I haven't watched the Ashes either, but I don't hate it. Like, hate's quite a strong word, you know? I didn't watch the last Wimbledon. I don't hate tennis. Thoughts about Anderson to Klein as a to enable Tavernier to Gordon. I don't love it, if I'm honest. Klein's probably okay until Munoz is back, I guess. Didn't he... Let me just check here. Oh, I'm looking at midfielders. That's why I can't find Klein. Yeah, 64-70. Like, will there be a game where he doesn't make the 60th minute? Maybe. I don't love it. Would you buy Van Dijk for a -4 or another defender? Probably Van Dijk if you ain't got him. What do you think on free hit? Palmer, Saka, or Foden? I'd be tempted to take a punt on Palmer. I really think he will start. Did I see Praz's moves? Nope. What did he do? Did he get Ekatike? I didn't watch his... Oh, here we go. I knew he'd get Ekatike. Bruno, Senesi, Anderson, Thiago, Cunha, Keane, Alderete, Ekatike. Sad to use all three transfers. Team still looks meh. I don't think his team looks that bad. Team doesn't look that bad at all. I mean, Minte's got good fixtures from next week, so he's back to 3-5-2. Van Dijk and Keane are good, so he's only got to play one of the others. It'll just be O'Reilly. I don't think his team looks bad. Now, Father Ted, I've seen that. Oh my god, people are very defensive about AFCON. Jesus Christ, I watched 2 matches of what was the I can't why is my mind going blank? What was the the World Club Cup? I only watched like 2 matches of that. Yeah, we should probably stop talking about AFCON. People are very angry. Senesi or Stack? Why aren't you watching AFCON? Why are you watching this? Senesi or Stack or -4 Senesi to Keane? Oh, probably just Stack. Thiago to Ekatike for -4? Probably not. I've got 2 free transfers and 0.6 in the bank. Would you consider Thiago and Bruno Gomes to get Miley and Ekatike? I really just don't like buying Miley to get Ekatike. It just feels a bit rubbish. Probably roll. Thiago and Saka to Ekatike and Gordon for free. 36 months, Alex. I mean, probably I wouldn't do that. If you want to do it, do it. Like, it's not bad. I won't be doing that. Pedro Neto versus Gordon versus Gibbs. Well, I would take the fixtures and the penalties from Gordon. Squad. Van Dijk. O'Reilly. Okay. What would you do? Move an injury. Who's injured, though? Richard's a step. Oh, that's your squad, though. What's your 11? What's the issue you've got here? Ekatike, Haaland, Dewsbury Hall. I mean, sure, if I can't work out whether you need to remove an injury or if they're just on the bench. The main team looks okay. And Richards I'd probably keep, so maybe roll. But I might be missing something because you've just put the whole squad. And most of those players are obviously just fine. Merry Christmas. Free hit. Allison, Tim. Allison feels a bit rubbish on free hit is my first thought. You got Ekatike, Verts, Van Dijk and Frimpong. Allison, Timber, Keane, Vardiol. Vardiol seems very meh on free hit. So does Semenyo, to be honest. Trossard, right. So does Trossard and Rice. Apart from Allison, Keane, because I'd probably go Tarkovsky, Vardiol, Semenyo, Trossard, Rice. I quite like the free hit. Yeah, I think you've got, like, why would you not have Van Dijk or Frimpong on free hit would be my first thought. So Pickford in goal probably and change that. Trossard and Rice are fine. Go and look at my final thoughts video yesterday. I did a free hit video there. See if you get any inspiration. Like Palmer on free hits a huge differential as well. Senesi or Vandenberg, I don't own Thiago. Vandenberg. Did Minte, Bruno, Thiago, and Van Hector, Keane, Anderson, Cunha, and Ekitike for free. Thoughts? It's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Cunha and Ekitike is nice. If I can't afford Hugo Ekitike, what Liverpool player for Wolves? Verts, probably. Would I rather be a cat or a dog? Dogs are much cooler than cats. Come on. Why do you never consider Cherky? Look at his numbers. I did look at his numbers. 66 minutes last week. Not great. I am watching AFCON because I am Cameroonian. It breaks our hearts that you don't watch it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If it makes you feel any better, I haven't watched Champions League for ages. Thiago to Ekitike, remove Szoboszlai and Dewsbury Hall wild card. I mean, what? If you use a bunch of transfers this week, how much better is the wild card? You can only use your wild card this week or next. So I'd probably just use it now. Like, how much different is the team going to be next week, I guess? Yeah, by the way, if you don't want to go Frimpong on free hit, that's completely understandable. But surely Van Dijk over Alisson. Like, surely. Hope you had a great Christmas. I did, thank you. Hope you did too. Watched your video since I started fantasy. My favorite FPL creator and a very humble guy. Thank you very much. I'm not, yeah. Sorry, I was going to say I'm not something else, and I thought, it doesn't matter. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy him. Ekitike captain, I've already free hit or stick with Haaland. I think Haaland's probably better, but I would be tempted to take the punt on Ekitike. Start Wilson over Gay, Alderete. I'd be tempted to start Alderete. Vabhav, 16 months. Should I do a -4 for Tarkowski for Nkapie? The team did Lou. Who's on your bench though? What's your bench? Like my initial thought is you've got a bench there, so I probably wouldn't take a -4. Free transfers: Thiago to Ekitike and Bruno to a 7.6 and below. Already got Foden, Saka, and Cunha. Sharda probably, or you could go Szoboszlai if you can bench him this week for next week. But Sharda probably, or Gordon. Riches to Keane, 1 free transfer left, or play Minter and roll. I'd probably roll. Yeah, Riches might be okay. I'm not rolling. I'm definitely not rolling. I just definitely don't know what I'm doing. And I've only got 49 minutes to figure it out. Do I think Frimpong's going to play 2 games in a row? I think it's risky. I think it's very risky. So I'd be careful about doing that. Putting Foden captain just because Haaland's a boring Christmas holiday pick, and as a Liverpool fan, I don't want to jinx Ekitike. Fair enough. You should roll. I probably shouldn't roll. Would be funny if Ekitike blanks. I mean, I would find it hilarious. Yeah, you're right. Semenyo to Grealish to fund Anderson to Van Dijk for a -4. No, don't think so. Is Jeremy Pino a shout? I mean, to be fair, not a bad one. Not a bad one. I guess, like, how long is he an option for until, like, Sar's back from AFCON, I suppose? That's the only thing. Might be a bit shorter term than someone like Paquetá. But, I mean, Jeremy Pino is a lot more exciting than Paquetá for a similar price. Why don't I start Dewsbury Hall? He'll either start or not play at all. Surely Dewsbury Hall is not back. Surely. I just cannot believe he's back. Haaland, Ekitike, Bowen, my front 3 this week. Nice, nice. I am quite jealous of people. You disrespect Mateus Fernandes. I mean, do I disrespect or have I just not bought him? How good are his DEFCONs? Let me see. The thing is, you take the DEFCONs for him or do you take the penalties of Paquetá? I'd probably take the penalties, right? Let me see. Mateus Fernandes. I mean, if you want to buy Mateus Fernandes, just buy him, I guess. I'm not stopping you. Let me see. I'm looking it up right now. Can't find. Oh, there we go. He averages 9.64, I think, which is fine, I guess. 9.64, if I might have added that up wrong. 9.64 versus, I mean, to be fair, it is more than Paquetá. It's only about 1 or 1.5 more than Paquetá per start. So I take the penalties, I think. If I was a streamer and someone said disrespect just for not owning a player, they'd get a ban. I haven't got time to ban everyone. Could you do Nkapie to O'Reilly? I could do that, but I don't think I want to. I'm not sure now's the right time to buy him. By the way, one thing that's kind of half putting me off buying Sharda is that if I buy Sharda and Tarkovsky, they play each other soon. That's a bit annoying. A little bit annoying. I can't afford it. Richest. Oh, I did that one. Richest Keen, 1 free transfer left, or play Minte. Probably, yeah, play Minte. Oh, I did that one. Start 3. Potts, Rodon, Anderson, Wilson, Tavernier. Anderson, Wilson, Tavernier. Merry Christmas to you too. Free hit this week or next. I've got a pretty good team for both. If I use it this week, only making like 3 or 4 transfers, should have used it before. I think the team for 19 is probably going to be a bit more interesting. Probably. I don't know, but then I really don't know, because a lot of the players you'd want on 19 I also think are pretty good, like just picks, like Cunha, for example. Liverpool players. Newcastle are okay to buy next week. Like it's flip a coin, honestly. They both work. If you're only going to make 3 or 4 transfers this week on free hit, then maybe save it for next week if you're going to make more. 2 free transfers, bench boost, triple captain left. Honestly, if you're going to send me the whole team and tell you when to play your chips, it's very unlikely I'm going to be able to help that much. Like, oh, hang on. Worth doing Richards and Keane plus Semenyo. Oh, Richards to Keane plus Semenyo to Gordon. I mean, you don't need to sell Semenyo this week. Richards to Keane's fine. I mean, which week, this week or next is okay? So you've only got, actually, this is quite easy. You got bench boost triple captain. Which week is your bench best, this week or next week? Whichever is the correct, whichever is the answer, that's when you bench boost, you triple captain the other week. You've only got 2 chips. There's 2 weeks left. This should be pretty simple, actually. So yes, Richards to Keane is fine. Semenyo you don't need to sell to Gordon, and if that makes your bench okay this week, then do it. If it's better next week, bench boost next week, and triple captain this week. It's really close. There's no triple captain is not really that much better this week or next, to be honest. Your video's been a huge help, thank you. Any general advice for making last minute FPL decisions? Not really. Just do it. Flip a coin. Use a random generator on the internet or something. I don't know. People always say just use your gut feeling, but sometimes you just don't know what that is. Start Pope or Dubravka. Dubravka, I think. I'm playing 3-5-2 with Wilson. I have Mukiele and Lacroix on the bench. Should I play 4-4-2? Yeah, I'd probably play Mukiele over Wilson. What's the best to find defenders on wildcard? I haven't really thought about wildcard too much over Christmas, to be honest, but I'd probably have Van Dijk. I'd probably have Timber, I think. Keane. Maybe Tarkovsky instead of Timber. And then just another cheap 1 or 2. 1 free transfer, 2.6 million. Transfer or roll, who to bench? Again, come on, you've got to give me a hat. I'm not going to just... If people just send me their team and ask me to do everything, that's just not how I work on these deadline streams, I'm afraid. Like, it's just too much to try and process. Like, you tell me what transfers you're thinking. You tell me who you're thinking of benching. Like, you've sent a team with Haaland and asked me who to bench. Like, you're not benching Haaland, obviously. Like, what transfer are you thinking about making? Or are you thinking about just rolling? What is your bench? Who are you struggling to decide who to bench out of there? Like, Cunha, Rice, Haaland? Probably not, right? I've always kind of worked like that when people just send me the whole team and say, what do I do with this? It's just not how the deadline stream works. It's just too. I can't process all that. It's too difficult. It's not that. It's the time it takes to think about it all and all your future weeks and stuff. Palmer captain, if you owned, did you peep Insta comment? I don't know what that second bit means. I wouldn't captain Palmer, no. Start three and Minte, Alderete, Chow, Richards, Senesi. Alderete, Minte, Senesi, I guess, because of the Richards doubt. I'm trying to look through this squad that was sent. Who to bench? Dubravka? Senesi, I guess. Did you see the comment? Did you peep the yeah, but did I see what comment? I mean, I've seen some Instagram comments. I don't know if I've seen the one. Had 3 free transfers. I want a bench boost. I've got Rodon, Dubravka, Guiu, Estev. Roll and bench boost next week, or just play it and make a transfer and play it. I also what's the bench next week? I mean, to be honest, like Dubravka or Estev playing Everton at home. Like Guiu's rubbish though, right? I mean, Dubravka and oh my god, I tell you what, next season we've all got to get our bench boosts out the way early. Like Newcastle at home is not bad. I'd be tempted to fix the bench this week and just use it while Dubravka and Estev have got Everton at home, right? If Nkapia doesn't start, you're cooked. Yeah, I've got 4 free transfers though. So. Bench one, Rice, Keane, O'Reilly. Probably O'Reilly out of them. Captain Saka or Haaland. Bench one of Semenyo, Gravenberch, Xhaka, Raul Jimenez. Xhaka. -4, Wilson. Oh, actually. Yeah, probably Xhaka. -4, Wilson and Dewsbury Hall to Rice and Xhaka for 15 on bench boost. Yes. I'd be tempted by Lefay on penalties, by the way. If you were 2.5 million rank, would you captain Ekatike? Maybe, but I still think Haaland's better. Cunha or Rodgers last midfielder and free hit team. Really? Really? One of them might be on penalties playing a home game Newcastle. One is definitely not on penalties. Well, might be at some point. Away to Chelsea. That's got to be bait. That's got to be bait. Cunha. Bench one of Wilson, Rodgers, Calvert-Lewin or Semenyo. Wilson. Should I captain Saka over Haaland because of early kickoff curse? Probably not. I don't think Saka's terrible, though. Is there any news on Dewsbury Hall? He basically wasn't mentioned in the press conference, so there's no new news. God, people keep putting like thoughts in my head now that Dewsbury Hall might start, but I really don't think he will. I would definitely have Cunha over Rodgers. Like I wouldn't even have to think about it. You can't free hit and put in a player playing Chelsea away. It's just rubbish. I don't care if Rodgers scores a hat trick this week. It's not a good decision. Well, it would be a good decision, literally, but Chelsea away, man, you can't do it. Guiu will be a problem if we want 3 Chelsea players from game week 21 onwards. Yes. Dewsbury Hall better not. I mean, Dewsbury Hall's not going to start. I just don't see it. I wonder if he's been on. I wonder if he's been on Instagram though, because he did post that it was just a blip or something. Let me. Oh. Where is Dewsbury Hall? I don't think he's posted since. Yeah, he's not really posting. He's not going to play. He's not going to play. He was the answer to every problem I had in FPL. Was just Dewsbury Hall's just going to play all the time. Do I think I'll go for another dead spot striker if I go for 3 Chelsea? Well, I have to, won't I? Yeah, that's the only way I can get 3. So we'll see. I don't think there's too much point in worrying about it right now. Having Capier and Richards with nothing in the bank, 1 free transfer, who do I get? Richards to Keane, maybe? Oh, nothing in the bank. Oh. And Capier to Keane then, possibly? Too much of a risk starting. Honestly, Dewsbury Hall's not going to play. He's not going to play. We should probably just forget about it. Why is it the only way? Surely there's another way. There might be another way, but I'm not sure what you're talking about. It's probably something I've just said that I've forgotten. I'm nervous you haven't made your transfers. I suspect I can get them done in the next 36 minutes. Saka for captain, what do you think? I mean, I don't hate it, but I would go Haaland over him. May Santa bring you multiple green arrows. Merry Christmas to you too. Yeah, fingers crossed. Richards, Wilson, Minte, play only one. I'd be tempted just to risk Wilson, I think. Which Anderson to start this week? Probably Fulham. Bruno to Cunha -4 or just play Anderson? Just play Anderson, I think. I mean, yeah, probably just play Anderson. Help with bench boost this week or next. Team. Okay, again, what's your bench this week? What's your bench next week? Like, there's no point in showing me the hard. Like, obviously, Haaland, you're going to start, right? So, what's your bench this week? What's your bench next week? And which like again, anyone that's got Dubravka and Estev, I think should really be considering using it this week. It's Everton at home. Like we for to Enzo Lefebvre and bench boost this week, maybe. Like that's my initial thought, I guess, seeing that. So I don't want to sound like I'm just like dismissing all the bench boost, but it's this week or next week. You've only got 2 weeks to look at what your bench looks like and decide which is the best one. Like it's not like you've got another 10 weeks to decide when to use it. Start Dubravka or Petrovic this week. I'm going to say Dubravka. 1 free transfer, 0 money. I've got Richards and Capier Van Heck. I have to play one in Capier. Or to use the transfer. I'd be tempted to hold the transfer and play in Capier and hope for the best. Obviously some risk there. Obviously some risk. I might buy Wirtz and Paquetá. I really hate it though. I really want to swear. I do not know what to do. I really wish I could just buy Szoboszlai. Get the penalty taker. I've already owned Paquetá this season as well, by the way. Yeah, he's rubbish. And also, I'd probably bench Anderson, which also feels a little bit rubbish. I think he's okay this week. I really want to swear, but it's family friendly, you know? We can't. If I do Paquetá in, then next week in Capier to a Newcastle defender. And then the team looks okay, to be honest. I would have to play Vandenberg a few times, though, but maybe that's okay. If you can't play 2 weeks, you don't deserve to do well in FPL. Harsh truth, but it's fair. No idea what that's all about. Just do Wirtz, forget Paquetá. I mean, I could do that, but what do I do with Dewsbury Hall next week? Paquetá is just so bad, man. Just so bad. Buy Wirtz and Keane next week, get Szoboszlai. I just don't... The problem with that is, I think I need another defender at some point. Wirtz is no good. Yeah, people say that, but then all it takes is a big score, and then everyone will be thinking about bringing him in, you know? Things change quickly. The thing I like about Wirtz and Paquetá is it lets me gamble on the Capier start. I don't think I'm going to get Enzo Lefebvre. If you had the fixtures that Dewsbury Hall has, I definitely would, but they're pretty rubbish after this week. Yeah, Jeremy Pino. I don't hate that shout. Start 3 out of that. Come on. You can't ask me a question. Start 3, and then the first one is Van Dijk against Wolves at home. I mean, I appreciate there is a decision to be made with Joachim Andersen, but yeah, you play Van Dijk, you play Timber, and you probably just play Mukiele, I think. You'll have 3 free transfers in game week 20. I'm looking at it now, right? So Keane and Verts in. Next week, Szoboszlai. Next week, Szoboszlai. I play Vandenberg against Spurs at home. Game week 20 is a bit rubbish. Game week 20 is not that bad, actually. I could probably even roll game week 20. Get to game week 21 with 4 free transfers. I could even play Senesi against Spurs at home and just roll. Then I have Verts against Arsenal away, but then who else do I even freaking want? Maybe I'll just get Timber. I'm going to roll some of my transfers. I'm not going to roll them all. Why is Verts a good pick? I mean, he might not be a good pick, but he's got Wolves at home, Leeds at home. BN RSCT, 25 months. Have Bowen and Paquetá. First sub, Anderson or Goodmanson. He's away, any at Goodmanson. I'd probably just go Anderson for the Defcons. I have 2 free chances. Play my free hit this week. Will I have 2 or 3 next week? 2. Verts has scored no goals and only 1 assist. Yeah, he is probably just a bit rubbish. The thing is, I'm not bringing in Verts for like the rest of the season. Please keep that in mind. Like he will get sold at some point. He has been rubbish though, hasn't he? Oh, I really don't know what to do. Part of me thinks you just get Sharda. Get Sharda and Tarkovsky. Then they're going to play. Then I'm going to have triple Brentford. That just feels so bad. Triple Brentford just feels so rubbish. Like really bad. But it does let. Yeah, Sharda's boring, but like, is he any less boring than Paquetá? Not really. Honestly, the only thing I don't like about Sharda and Tarkovsky coming in is they play each other soon. But I do think I can afford. Oh, no, I can't afford Lewis Hall next year, but I could afford Chow. Yeah, Paquetá has penalties. I don't. Better fixtures, not by that much, in my opinion. The thing is, if Sharda can get anywhere close to last season's numbers, he's pretty good. I'm overlooking Reiners just because of minutes long term. I can't go there again. I'm struggling, man. I am struggling to pick here. I really am. I've got no clue what to do. I mean, I wouldn't say no clue. I've got some options. I just don't like any of them. Minte to Gravenberch for a -4 or someone else under 6.6. There's no way I'd do that for -4. No, I wouldn't sell anyone. I wouldn't sell him for a -4. Basically, 24 months. Thanks. Incapié Thiago to Keane Ekitike. Yeah, it's okay. Best Liverpool defender outside of Van Dijk. Canate probably. Would you start Incapié and Wilson or take the guaranteed starts and play Gay and Enzo instead? Enzo over Wilson probably, and I just start Incapié. SASNZ 77, new member, thank you. Consider Cunha captain, maybe next week, but not this week. He doesn't definitely have penalties either. Palmer comment was him saying run it back on the Chelsea reel from his Villa goal. Oh, nice, okay. I mean, Palmer's going to start, I think. I don't think there's really too much doubt about that. I don't think he starts the game after, though. Why not just get Ekitike for Giu? Yeah, I don't want to do that. Just watch. Pickford, Calafiori, Frimpong, Reinders, Birch, Trossard, Palmer, Foden. I prefer that to the one before, yeah. I'm not sure about Trossard, but Why not? Cappy is probably out. He probably is. He probably is. I think I just get Verts. And then eventually sell him and get Gabriel. But then I need to sell Cunha for Gabriel as well at some point. Oh God, this is so, I don't know. Alderete K or Anderson Fulham. Alderete I'd play at them. The thing is, right, so I agree. So everyone's, no, not everyone, but a few people are saying that Sharda's underlying data is bad. I completely agree with you. It's really not that good so far this season, but numbers can change. Right, and we haven't just got this season to go on. So last season, he was a 0.47 expected goal involvement player. The year before was 0.52. Year before that was 0.39. So his previous 3 seasons were all better than this one. It's very unlikely at his age that he would have like a massive drop off for the long term. He's only 23. Like, it wasn't that long ago, Foden's underlying numbers for the season weren't that good. Then all of a sudden, he got about 50 double-digit hauls in a row. It wasn't that long ago, no one was interested in Cunha, right? And I know the Bruno Fernandes injury has helped, but there wasn't that many people interested in Cunha. All of a sudden, he had a 0.85, a 0.87, a 0... Sorry, let me rephrase that. A 1.16, 1.02, 1.01 expected goal involvement game. Numbers can change, and we've got a lot of data to say that Sharda's kind of okay. But also, I agree with you that he's a pretty rubbish pick too. So I don't know. I don't know. Why am I stressing? You got 4 free transfers. I mean, yeah, I've got the transfers to fix stuff. It's just how do you fix it? What about this Ekatike guy? Is he good? Never heard of him. Sharda's... Yeah, he's not Foden, but all it takes is a couple of goals and everyone changes their tune. You know what I mean? Everyone can spin a narrative once a player starts scoring points. Like, let's say, I mean, it's unlikely, right? But let's say Sharda gets a braces. So everyone, oh, do you know what? He looked a little bit more confident. You could see the glint in his eye. Oh, now he's got good fixtures. I'm going to buy. It's all it takes. Like, no one can get on board with Sharda because he hasn't done points yet. Just like hardly any of us bought Foden until he did points, you know? If you had Ekatike, would you captain? I suspect I would go Haaland, but yeah. Cunha was always interesting because of AFCON. Sure, but there wasn't that many people talking about him, honestly. The Fernandes injury definitely escalated the need to get Cunha. How can we make decisions last minute? Shouldn't you make your mind up early in the week and then change with new information? Yeah, it's Christmas. Petrovic to Pickford and Semenya to Verts. Sounds okay. Start 2 of these. Anderson, Senesi and Goodmanson. Probably not Goodmanson, I would say. How does Saka to Palmer in game week 21, which opens up a spot for Gabriel sound? Potentially good, as long as Gabriel's fit and as long as Palmer's getting good minutes. If it helps, I like Sharda. I just don't need him at the moment. I don't know if I do like Sharda that much. I think I do prefer him. I don't know if I do prefer him to Verts. I should just buy Verts. With the lack of midfielders, as in you selecting Sharda 3-4. 3-4-3 is not interesting because I can't get Ekatike and deal with all my other issues without selling Saka, and I don't want to use 4 free transfers. Biggest hit you've ever taken and why? Like a -12 or a -16 for a blank long time ago. But I wouldn't see me doing that again. I've got to open my next beer, but I had to bring a towel because they keep fizzing up, even though they've not been like shaken up. Look at that, it's ridiculous. It's gone everywhere. It hasn't gone everywhere, but get Verts for 2 weeks and then do what though? But maybe I shouldn't worry about that. Maybe I should just get him for 2 weeks, enjoy the rest of December, and then decide. Oh my god, now my hands are full of beer. Hang on. I actually had to bring a towel to the deadline stream. I've got Galway Bay Lush. It keeps fizzing up every time I open the freaking can. Tap the lid before I. Do you know, it's an old school classic way of doing it. How would you feel about having 18 million of your budget in Brentford? Massive differential. I'd feel great. I should probably just get Verts. I probably should. I'm just delaying the inevitable, which is getting an Arsenal defender back. But maybe that's okay. I've got 4 free transfers. I'm going to buy Paquetá. I'm going to buy Verts and Paquetá, I think. And I'm going to risk Nkapie, and then I'm going to sell him next week. How am I buying Paquetá again, by the way? What an absolute idiot I am. That's also going to make me bench Anderson, which is probably going to be rubbish. Yeah, I'm probably gonna bench Anderson, play Vandenberg, which will probably backfire as well. Although I'll end up playing Anderson because Nkapie won't play. I'll have 3 free transfers next week. I can buy a Newcastle defender, which is probably okay. I think not owning Szoboszlai for Leeds at home is probably fine. I probably don't need to stress about that. It's my defense I don't like most weeks. I think that's what's kind of killing me right now. But I could sell Verts in game week 21 when he plays Arsenal, but then he's got Burnley the week after. But I could sell him down to Szoboszlai, then upgrade one of my defenders, maybe even back to Arsenal. But then I'm not going to do that in 21, am I? Oh, I really don't know. I feel like right now I'm more sure about buying Paquetá than I am about buying Verts. How close is Gakpo? That's the key to Verts. Yeah, good point. I mean, Gakpo could be back this week in the squad. Rush to get a Liverpool player in or role. It depends what the option is, you know. Play Wilson or Senesi. Wilson. Should I use all my... Let me just pour this because it's going to take ages for the... Oh, wait, that's not actually that bad. Should I use all my free transfers, Saka, Bruno, Thiago to Rice, Cunha, Ekitike? I'll use 2 free transfers, Bruno to Cunha and Nkapie to O'Reilly and keep some flexibility. Probably the latter. Play Anderson or Wilson. I'd probably go Anderson for safety. Bruno Guimaraes, Senesi, Anderson stack. I'll play 2. Bruno, G and Anderson, I think. Minte or Senesi? Probably Senesi. What about Shada and Ekitike? They're both good options. Already went -4 to bring Ekitike for Thiago and Rice for Bruno. Richards got injured, so I'm left with 10. Should I go -8 to transfer out Burn? I mean, Richards might be okay. Richards might be okay, so maybe risk it. Start Wilson versus Calvert-Lewin. Anderson versus Vandenberg/Richards. Anderson before Vandenberg, I think. Going against Haaland with Ekitike captain, good luck. Start Richards or Minte. Probably Minte. Who to start, Chow or Rodon? Chow. 2 months Paul. Sell Bruno and Dewsbury Hall for Mount and Gravenberch. I probably wouldn't buy Gravenberch personally. Mount's okay-ish. Raya, Anderson and Capital. What do you think I have to change? What are you thinking about changing? It all looks fairly okay to me. How much money you got? How many transfers? Who are you thinking about moving on? Obviously, Nkapie is a bit of a risk. Yeah, I don't think Timber was in training photos either, by the way. But, I mean, honestly, I don't know what you can take from training photos for Arsenal at this point. We know that players get left out and then they play, so... Can you please do a captain pod to see how popular Ekitike is? Yes. Start a poll. Your game week 18 captain is Harden Ekitike. Someone else. Kanate, yeah, Kanate apparently wasn't spotted in training, but he wouldn't be flagged for that unless something was said. On bench boost this week, 3 free. Saka, Nkapie, Guiu to Rice, Keane, Ekitike. Okay, or Nkapie, Thiago to Ekitike, Keane. This means I have Gio on bench boost, but keep 3-4. I think I would just risk Gio on the bench boost, even though it's rubbish. I mean, I don't like it, but I think I prefer the transfers. Start Raul Jimenez or Rogers. Raul Jimenez. Seb, 46 months. If you owned him, would you captain Ekitike? I mean, I think it's easy for me to say I would, but probably not. I'd probably go Haaland because that's the kind of guy I am. Ballard or Keane, and Cherky or Grealish. Oh, on free hit. I'd be very tempted to go Ballard over Keane. It's quite close, though. I mean, I didn't even choose Ballard on my free hit. You know, I'd probably go Keane, but I do like Ballard. And Cherky or Grealish. I'm going to say Grealish. On free hit, would you make room for Gordon? Not this week, I don't think. Is now really the right time to get Verts? I mean, if you're not going to get him before Wolves at home, Leeds at home, you're never going to get him. Bench one, Anderson, Keane, Senesi. My goalkeeper is Dubravka. Or bench one, Senesi. Can you not just do Bruno and Guiu to King and Ekitike? Yeah, but King's rubbish. So yes, I can probably do that. You have to close and dismiss the poll vote. It looks like most people are going Haaland still. Do you think Lewis Potter was a one-hit wonder, or is he a genuine consideration? I don't know if his minutes are fully secure in the front three, to be honest, so I probably wouldn't go there. One free transfer, Anderson to Lefay for bench boost or roll to 2 frees. I'd probably just keep Anderson for the long term and bench boost with him. King is rubbish, but you're comparing him to Guy. Yes, I am, but then I've got 0 in the bank, and I've still got a lot of problems to deal with. On Lewis Potter thing, until Dango comes back, I think he's there. What's going on with Reece Nelson? Is he still out? Most people don't have Ekitike. Bet most Ekitike owners are captain him. Maybe, yeah. I need to replace Bruno. Would you get I need to replace Bruno. Would you get Gordon or Grealish? Getting Grealish would leave me exact money to do Semenyo to Cunha next week. I'd probably want Cunha. Start Reinders or Wilson. Is selling Senesi key. To what? Reinders or Wilson? Probably Reinders. Minus 12 for a bench boost. That sounds pretty rubbish. Remove Pipe and Richards, but for who? I have DCL and Keane subs. Also having Cappy and Wilson. Should I even play? I mean, minus 12 just to get your bench boost out sounds pretty awful. Are you not in a better position next week? Like, what if Richards is back next week? Royce, Canate, Ballard, O'Reilly, free hit. Any suggestions? Semenyo on free hit seems like fine, but not great. Canate just seems rubbish. I'd much rather have Van Dijk or Frimpong. Everything else is probably. I mean, I would go for some Everton defenders rather than likes of O'Reilly, for example. Minus 4 in Capier to Calafiori, or just hope he plays. Probably just hope he plays. Is Harry Wilson out for sure? Nope. Rate Senesi, Saka, Semenyo, Thiago to Keane, Rice, Cunha, Ekitike. Again, it's one of those moves that's fine. If you want to sell Saka to get Ekitike, it's fine. Best mid for 5.7 or under on bench boost, thinking Alcaraz. Lefay for penalties. Yeah, punt on Alcaraz is fine. Do Richards and Capier start? Possibly, but they're both doubts. And keep in mind that Nkapie just wasn't even in the squad for the Carabao Cup. Oh, I got 12 minutes now. I got 12 minutes. Maybe don't put any more super chats in now. Let me figure out my transfers. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Dewsbury Hall. He was the key to everything. He was the key to absolutely everything, but I can't keep dwelling on it. I can't keep dwelling on it. Have I considered selling Ray? No, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sell Raya, I don't think. I don't think I'm gonna sell Raya. Yeah, I've already answered that Lewis Potter question, by the way. I can't buy Declan Rice. It's so annoying. I know owners are probably more annoyed, but that Szoboszlai yellow card last week was pretty annoying. You really need to think about your team in deadline streams, answering too many questions. I mean, the whole point of the stream is to answer questions, really. My team's a whole boring, like, side part. I'm not rolling. I mean, I'll roll a few transfers. Saka or Palmer for this game week. I would take a punt on Palmer, honestly. Yeah, I think he'll start. Honestly, surprised more people aren't going against Haaland. As someone said earlier, a lot of people probably just don't have Ekatike. So you need them to own him and then want to go against him. I'm going to end up on something really stupid here. Maybe I just get Timber. And just get... But then I want Gabriel eventually. Take a hit for Ekatike. Probably not, but it depends what the hit is. Anderson or Minte. Anderson, I guess. The old Defcons. I'm not going to play 5-3-2. I've got 4 free transfers. I just don't know what moves I'm making yet. I think the beer intake is sped up as the reality of the deadline is kicked in. Probably. It's like nervous drinks. Timber's... Hincapié is killing me. Doom, doom, doom. Is buying Lewis Miley this week for bench boost 19 worth it? I mean, if it enables another move, yeah, it could be pretty good. Donnarumma, Van Dijk on free hit. What should I do? I mean, that looks pretty good to me. Maybe Pickford in goal instead of Donnarumma. Go triple up defense. But that looks okay. Palmer instead of Saka, maybe. Thoughts on Ghana as a cheap enabler for 5 million? I mean, not terrible. You told me no for Miley at the start of the show. Well, I mean, it was probably a slightly different question. Was your question, should I get Lewis Miley for bench boost next week? I mean, he's okay. Like, if you need someone super, super cheap, I wouldn't want him longer term. And Cappier is out. I don't know if I like the Keane move. Cappier to Keane, Fernandez to Wirtz. I just don't... Play 2 of Senesi Anderson Stack. Stack's interesting this week. I think I'd go for the 2 defenders, though. I mean, you could go Stack if you've got Thiago, I suppose. But I think you sold him, right? What's your final decision for Bruno? Great question. We'll find out in 7 minutes. Bench 1, Anderson, Wilson, Vandenberg. Forrest Anderson. Have Timber, Keane and Cappier doubt. Richards doubt. 2 and Zabi. 1 free transfer. Make a transfer or risk it. I'd be tempted to make a transfer in Cappier to... I don't know who, though. I actually don't know. Nothing in the bank. You need someone else cheap. Cheaper. Oh, man, I'd be tempted to risk it. I don't know who you would buy this week. You've already got Keane. It's a bit of spanner in the works, to be honest. You could go super cheap like a Mukiele or an Alderete and then use the money next week. But you'd have to look at what that affects your team longer term. Like, that's something I just can't answer. Goodmanson or Minte? Minte. There's 7 minutes left. Chill. Do you have the budget for Nkapie to Keane, Thiago to Ekitike, and Bruno to McAllister? I don't know, but I'm not going to do that. Possibly. Nkapie to Keane. I don't know, maybe. But I'm not going to do it. Then get Szoboszlai next week. I just there's something about like having a cheap defense I just don't like anymore. I know you've got a lot going on, but what's your favorite cheese? What a question. I don't know about cheese. I'd have to think about it. I think the thing is, I think I need a defender transfer soon. And it's going to take me another 2 if I have to sell Verts as part of that. Maybe I just get Tarkowski. Maybe I just do a triple move. Verts. I'm looking at it on my other FPL page. So I've got it slightly smaller so I can do it, see it easier. Cheap defenders and match premium defenders this season. Still don't feel good about it though, to be honest with you. Oh, but the thing is, if I get Tarkowski, I can't then get... Oh, no, because I can get Paquetá. I've got the exact money for that, by the way. Exact money for Verts, Paquetá, Tarkowski. But then what if bloody... What if Tarkowski picks up his yellow card straight away? That'd be an... If Tarkowski gets a yellow card this week, that would be a bit annoying, I'll be honest. Yeah, he's on 4 yellow cards. Oh, for Christ's sake. I really don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. Why have I not decided by now? This is killing me. Maybe I just get Paquetá and no Verts. How bad is that? I just quite like the Verts Paquetá and just risk Nkapie move. I think I just quite like that. I mean, I don't love it, but I don't mind it. How many minutes have got left? 4 minutes. I would not put any more super chats in now. No, Tarkowski wouldn't. It might add another transfer. You might be right. Semenyo Cunha on free hit. Cunha. Sanchez or Dubravka. Sanchez. Team is doodly-loo. Transfer suggested. Oh, you're going to have to help me out. What transfers are you thinking about making for that team? What's your long-term plans? Free hit. Frimpong, Tarkowski, Grealish, or Van Dijk, Keane, Rice. The first one. No, the second one for safety, I think. Probably wouldn't have Rice. Is it true Konate might miss the Wolves? Apparently he wasn't seen in training, but there's nothing to say he's out or anything like that. How do I feel about Semenyo going to... Oh, I don't know right now. I don't even... Do I really want to buy a Newcastle defender next week, by the way? Is that really what I want to do in my team? I'm basic... The thing is, if I... Oh, God, I'm going to be making... Do I just do Keane as well this week? Do I just get Keane this week? I don't think I do. All right, 2 minutes. I think I'm going to buy Verts and Paquetá. I think I'm going to buy Verts and Paquetá, but I kind of hate it. I'm struggling because I think my defense looks a bit bad the next few weeks. Why am I buying Verts? He's so rubbish. He's been awful. Maybe I just deal with Nkapie. Okay, next week I say maybe I think with my current plans, I'm basically playing Vandenberg every freaking week, which doesn't sound great to me. Why do people keep saying roll? I'm not rolling with 4 free transfers and this team. Relax. Relax yourself. I reckon I can get to game week 21 and just roll for a while. Okay, I'm gonna buy Paquetá and Wirtz, I think. And I by the way, I know everyone says this, I regret every move I make. I already regret this one. I haven't even made it yet and I hate it already. I just don't like. But what else can I just got to do it because I don't have any other choice. We've got a deadline in 1 minute, 30 seconds. This is the point my season goes downhill. Maybe I should just sell Incapia. Oh, whatever. I don't care now. I just don't care. I can't think about this anymore. And I'm going to bench Anderson because I've bought Paquetá. Stop showing me that stupid pop-up. There we go. Incapia probably won't start. Oh, sugar. I should fix my bench. Who's better, Senesi or Anderson this week? How do I own Paquetá for the second time this season? And Wirtz. They were both awful for me. Paquetá's at least got good fixtures and penalties. Oh my god. You get free transfers if you roll. All this. Christmas ruined. Christmas is ruined. I haven't blocked myself out of Szoboszlai. I would just have to do Wirtz as Szoboszlai, wouldn't I? Yeah. Job done. I could always do Wirtz as Szoboszlai next week if I really have to. Oh, I think that's probably bad moves. But there we go. There we go. Deadline's coming in. I don't know. Looks okay this week as long as Incapie plays. Probably won't. I don't even own bloody Ekatike either. I don't even own Ekatike. Paquetá has got quick transfer out. I won't be transferring out Paquetá anytime soon. I'll tell you that now. Unless he gets injured or gets sold or suspended, like I'll probably be keeping him for the next 4 game weeks because the fixtures are quite good. So don't be worrying about him. I mean, Wirtz will probably get sold quicker than Paquetá because I'm going to need to free up some money. Awful moves. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, the only thing that makes me happy is people have been saying my moves have been awful all season and I'm sat 25k. So hopefully this is another awful move that will do me well. We'll see. Should have crazy your team is 25k. Yeah, it's almost like there's not one way to play, right? Should have done Bruno Guiu to Paquetá Ekatike. Yeah, no, I couldn't do that. I couldn't afford that, I don't think. It looks kind of fun at least. Might not be good. I don't know if it looks that fun, really. Are people still saying lost the plot? I mean, yeah. I mean, someone tells me my moves are bad every single week. Every single week for about 9. Like I've almost been doing this for 9 years. I would say every single week for 9 years, apart from during the summer, people have told me that my moves are bad. So, yeah. Am I running bench boost or something? No. Let's see what happens. I'll probably roll next week. No, actually, no, I won't roll next week. I'll have to sell Incapie. Unless Incapie is fine, then I might roll. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Doodle-doodle-doo. Because you roll every other week otherwise. Yeah, sometimes. We'll see what happens. Oh, I don't know. It's so weird how like Szoboszlai has been playing on my mind. The thing is, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Wirtz is not going to last long in this team. Just bring me back Bruno Fernandes, Gabriel, and Dewsbury Hill, and I'll be happy. I'll just use my 3 free transfers to buy them all. Wirtz could be the top scorer. At least I'll be able to watch I won't be able to watch the Liverpool game tomorrow, actually, but at least I could watch it. You and Paquetá need to be investigated. Well, maybe one of us does. I hope Verts won't turn up this time. You probably don't need to hope too much. He hasn't turned up all season. Whatever. I just had to buy someone I didn't like this week, basically. Maybe I should have gone Sharda. Would have freed up another million. You got no players on Sunday. Could be a nice, relaxing day. Yeah, well, I know whether the green arrow is locked in or not by Saturday. Imagine being on a red arrow and then having no players on Sunday. I agree Verts will do well short term, but this is just so underwhelming. No Ekatike is a genuine risk. We'll see. Ekatike, in my opinion, is not that great value. I think Ekatike is a good pick. I'm hoping that not having him will work out better in the long run, basically. Like, when Gabriel's back, my move will be Verts down to someone cheaper in midfield, and then whichever defender I bring in for Nkapia next week, straight back to Gabriel. Like, that will be my move. When I want Fernandes back, that'll be Saka to Fernandes in one move. Or maybe I sell Van Dijk for Gabriel. Maybe I sell Nkapia to someone else. I do Van Dijk to Gabriel. Saka goes to Palmer. Verts goes to Bruno Fernandes somehow. Because Cunha will also have to be sold. Basically, right, at no point when I think about my future... And look, I get it, right? We can take short-term points and then switch later on. But at no point when I think about future moves do I think I want that forward. Like, I've just talked to you about loads of players I want to bring in. Not one of them was a forward. Not a single one. So, again, Ekatike is good, but Saka to Palmer, Verts back to Fernandes, Van Dijk to Gabriel, Nkapia to a different defender. Like, once Bruno's back and AFCON is done and then Burmo's back, Cunha's less good. So Cunha can be sold for someone cheaper. That can enable the Gabriel move. Like Cunha and Verts to Enzo Fernandez and Fernandes, Bruno Fernandes, Saka to Palmer. No, I am thinking about bringing Palmer in. That will be for Saka. Whereas if I'd done Saka to someone cheap and got Ekatike, that's another 2 or 3 transfers to move it back. I don't think you'll have the funds. Look, we'll see what happens. My main point is, at no point did I think I want that. Yeah, Bowen is good, but I don't have any plans to get him. Like, not one. No, Paquetá's already served his suspension for 5 yellows. He's on like 6 or something, I think. I can't... Oh, actually, I can check, probably. Yeah, he's on 5 already, so he's already served his suspension. I know because I owned him. Why wouldn't it work out when he plays Wolves, Leeds, and Burnley in the next one? Are you talking about again? Like, please listen to what I'm saying. Ekatike is a good pick, and some people had really, really nice routes to get Ekatike. They really did. For me, I just didn't feel like I did. I didn't want to sell Saka. Like, I don't know. Saka's not been great value-wise, but I think people are too quickly just writing him off as if he's a terrible pick. Yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, my biggest regret in the moment is that not enough money. I don't know. I don't want to say it's a regret to have sold Timber because I got Foden. But I'll tell you something. Had I kept Timber and not got Foden, I would have just been doing Bruno to Foden this week, and that would have been super easy. Just saying Thiago could get... The thing is... Again, like, Thiago could get on my nerves. I'm not disputing that Ekatike is better than Thiago, but he's 2 million more. I'd rather have Sharda than Paquetá. I'd rather have Timber than Nkapia. You know? But you can't just have every expensive player in the game. You never had to sell Saka for Ekatike. I did really, because if I'd done Bruno to Ekatike, I would have still had a Dewsbury Hall problem. I would have still had no money to upgrade in defence. This is the thing. No one. Everyone's just looking at my... Like, basically, most people are just looking at my team saying, how can he get Ekatike? And that's all they're thinking about. He can just do Bruno to a cheap player and then he can get Ekitike and that's it. He only needs to get Ekitike, that's it. But that's not the only problem with my team. But no one else has thought about that much. Which is fine because it's not your team. I haven't thought about anyone else's team as much as I've thought about mine, you know? I was saying Bowen if you can't afford Ekitike. Again, though, I think Bowen's... Oh, something's just been smashed downstairs. What was that? I better check. Don't say Dewsbury Hall back next week. Well, if Dewsbury Hall's back next week, I'll do Verts to Dewsbury Hall. And then Ekitike or something. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. I got distracted because something got smashed downstairs. Paquetá's a shocking pick. Yeah, probably. Probably. If Ekitike bags a brace, do you think you'll get him? No. I mean, never say never, right? Saka could get injured. Saka gets injured and maybe it's a bit more viable for me. Did your wife just hear about your transfers, baby? Yeah. Why don't the forwards excite you? They're just rubbish, apart from Ekitike probably right now. And, you know, Bowen's okay. Wolves were good against Arsenal. Liverpool might struggle. I mean, if I hadn't bought Verts, I'd obviously be rooting for... I've gone for Liverpool on... Last Man Standing. I haven't gone, by the way, in Last Man Standing. I've not been out at all this season. I've gone 17 weeks so far. Ben Crellin did Incapie to Timber. He's probably just playing it safe. I did think about that myself, you know. I did think about that, getting Paquetá in and getting Timber. See, if you look at Ben's team, what I was considering was Fernandes to Paquetá, Incapie to Timber, and that would have left me the money to get Szoboszlai. So I'd have had I would have had almost the same attack. I would have just had Paquetá instead of Mince. Yeah, I do wonder whether I put too much emphasis on getting Gabriel back, because if he's not back soon, Timber's just the one, really. We were all on Watkins at the start of the season, knowing he wasn't on penalties and cost 9 million. Now we're all on saying Ekitike is not good. Yeah, well, Watkins was rubbish value, wasn't he? Since then, I've realised that getting Watkins was a massive mistake. I'll be more worried about Incapie than Ekitike. I've got cover for him, at least. Got cover for him. As a non-Van Dijk owner, I hope Liverpool in 5-1. Yeah. All of a sudden, Thiago's an awful pick. It shows people like fancy new toys. But, like, okay, it's always a bit more nuanced than that, right? Like, some people, yes, are just super frustrated with Thiago. We have got new information about Ekitike, though. Again, I don't think he's a bad option. His minutes have gone up. Are you going to be number one in FPL, or will Guy, who supports Man United, get his hair cut? Probably neither of those things are going to happen. He'll keep growing his hair. I'll keep not being number one. Right. I'm off. Why do I hate Ekitike? I don't know. Same reason I hate AFCON, apparently. People are just weird. Right, Thiago's dropping tonight. Yeah, dropping a brace tomorrow or something. I don't know. All right, I'm off. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed that, make sure to give it a like and hit that subscribe button. There will probably, I just realised, there'll probably be no knee-jerk stream on Sunday because we've got a quick turnaround. The next deadline is Tuesday, so there won't be a knee-jerk stream until, I don't know when. Not for Game Week 19 anyway. We'll see. I don't hate AFCON, by the way. Just people are weird. Paquetá brace. Imagine if he gets a penalty and misses. That would be funny. We've always wanted a nailed Liverpool attacker. There's one now. Well, I mean, there was Salah as well, but we didn't like that too much either. Not anymore, though. I'm off. Thank you very much. Give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you again on Sunday, but not for an knee-jerk stream. See you then.